TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations.
Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praises U.S. President Donald Trump, asserting much hope for the future of the State of Israel. U.S. President Donald Trump voices outrage over the emaciated state of the hostages released on Saturday, warning that the United States was losing patience with Hamas. The Islamist Hamas proclaims it will continue to battle Israel until its defeat. The emaciated physical state in which the three hostages who were released by the Islamist Hamas on Saturday triggered outrage, as it clearly demonstrates the Nazi-like treatment which the Palestinian terror group applies against the hostages.
There are serious health consequences when holding people captive in such deplorable conditions. What we know from accumulated medical knowledge is that prolonged time in captivity has led to a significant deterioration of their condition. The situation of the hostages who were released today causes deep and serious concern regarding the fate of those who remain in captivity.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who stayed in Washington, D.C. over the weekend, observed the release of the hostages from the United States, after which he stressed Jerusalem's commitment to do everything to return all of the hostages, while remaining equally committed to remove Hamas from the Gaza Strip.
Or Eli and Ohad returned home today. Sarah and I hugged them and their precious families. We have seen again what the monsters of Hamas are. These are the same monsters who slaughtered our citizens and abused our hostages. And I tell them again, let their blood be on their heads. We will do everything to return all our hostages. We will ensure their safety. This is the instruction I gave to the delegation, to tell the mediators this and to demand it. But beyond that, President Trump agreed with me completely. We will do everything to return all the hostages, but Hamas will not be there. We will eliminate Hamas, and we will return our hostages. This is the instruction, and so we will do it.
It is important to highlight that families of hostages who are expected to be released in the second phase of the deal with the Islamist Hamas terror group are fearful that the ceasefire won't last beyond the first phase of the deal.
We face a closing window of opportunity. Our priority must be saving the hostages' lives. My brother, Aviatar, is not part of the current stage of the deal, which is why we must push forward to the next phase. This deal could mean life or death for our loved ones.
Meanwhile, on board the U.S. presidential aircraft Air Force One, President Donald Trump voiced outrage over the manner in which the hostages were treated, warning Hamas and its patrons that the United States was losing patience.
I watched the hostages come back today, and they looked like Holocaust survivors. They were in horrible condition. They were emaciated. It looked like many years ago, the Holocaust survivors. And I don't know how much longer we can take that when I watch that. I know we have a deal where we're supposed to they dribble in and keep dribbling in, but they are in really bad shape. They have been treated brutally, horribly. Even the ones that came out earlier, they were in a little bit better shape, but mentally they were treated so badly. Who could take that? At some point, we're going to lose our patience. When I see that scene that I saw today with people coming out of helicopters and airplanes that are emaciated, that look like they haven't had a meal in a month. No reason for that, and I don't know how much longer we can take it.
President Trump was further asked to address his grand plan for the Gaza Strip.
We're going to bring stability to the Middle East, to a totally war-torn part of the Middle East, a part of the Middle East that has caused tremendous problem, the Gaza Strip, and we'll own it. It's totally demolished right now. It's a demolition site. It'll be reclaimed. It'll be leveled out, fixed up. There won't be anybody there. Hamas won't be there. We'll be building through other of the very rich countries in the Middle East. They'll be building some beautiful sites for the people, for the Palestinians to live in. They'll be living in harmony and peace probably for the first time in hundreds of years.
Asked whether any regional leaders committed to his plans and whether he expects them to change their tone, President Trump stressed that he expects those leaders to change their tone once they speak to him directly.
The only reason they maybe don't act enthusiastic is they haven't talked to me. They talk to other people, but not to me. When they talk to me, they'll be enthusiastic.
It is important to know that Jordanian King Abdullah II is expected to meet with President Trump at the White House tomorrow, while in the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, thousands of outright supporters of the Islamist Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood are exerting significant pressure on their monarch to push back against the American leader's plans for the Gaza Strip.
Palestine belongs to the Palestinians, and forced displacement is considered a humanitarian crime and an international crime against Palestinians who have sovereignty over their lands. Neither Trump, nor Netanyahu, nor anyone else has the right to displace them from their lands and create an alternative homeland for them. The displacement of Palestinians is a very dangerous issue that undermines the Palestinian cause, which will always remain the central cause that Jordan defends.
Meanwhile, in Jerusalem, after returning from a week-long visit to Washington, D.C., Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, during opening remarks at his weekly cabinet meeting, stressed the significance of President Trump's vision for the Middle East.
As of today, we have achieved great things in the war. I have just returned from an historic visit in Washington with President Trump and with senior figures in his administration and with Senate and congressional leaders. This visit and the talks that we held with the President of the U.S. included additional considerable achievements that can ensure the security of Israel for generations. I am not exaggerating. There are opportunities for possibilities that I think we never dreamed of, or at least a few months ago they did not seem possible, but they are possible.
Premier Netanyahu further highlighted President Trump's appreciation for Israel's military successes versus the Islamic Republic of Iran and its regional axis of evil.
President Trump commended all of our achievements, especially the breaking of the Iranian axis. He was very impressed by our actions. I told him that all of this was due, first of all, to our heroic fighters and the sacrifice of the fighters who have fallen, and also to the steadfastness of our people, and the determined and rational policy that we have led. We agreed that all of the objectives that we set for the war must be completed: the elimination of Hamas, the return of all of our hostages, ensuring that Gaza never again constitutes a threat to Israel, returning all of the residents in both North and South, and, of course, preventing Iran from attaining nuclear weapons. President Trump also presented a different vision for the day after. During the course of an entire year, we have been told that on the day after, the PLO, the Palestinian Authority, needs to be in the Strip. President Trump came with a completely different vision, much better for the state of Israel, a revolutionary and creative vision, which we are discussing. He is very determined to carry it out. This also opens many possibilities before us.
Turning to Iran, where the Islamic Republic Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei hosted the surviving leadership of Hamas at his palace in Tehran.
You defeated the Zionist regime, which was in fact America's defeat, and you did not allow them to achieve any of their goals.
The Gazan leader of the Islamist Palestinian terror group addressed a public gathering marking the 46th anniversary of the 1979 Islamic Revolution, pledging his unwavering commitment to the path of violence with the aim of conquering Israel.
ونعاهد أمتنا
We pledge to our nation to remain committed to the path of resistance until Palestine is liberated, either victory or martyrdom. As for the projects of the West, America, and Trump, they are doomed, they will fall. We will bring them down as we brought down the projects before them. Therefore, this is our pledge to our nation, and it is our pledge to our martyrs.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian also addressed the congregated crowd of regime supporters in Tehran in a desperate public display of his regime's anti-Western sentiments, claiming that the Islamic Republic remains strong in the face of its adversaries, to include the United States and Israel.
They want to convince the people that Iran is weakened and that this is the best opportunity to strike. However, they are unaware that, with the wise guidance of the Supreme Leader and the presence of this ever-vigilant nation, they will take these dreams to their graves.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you a Shavua Mevorach, and God willing, we will see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.